Hey guys, Tex here. Welcome back to the channel. Today is Thursday, July 22nd, 2021. So in today's video, I want to talk about my first impressions of the TradeStation platform, having taken my first live trades on the platform. Yesterday, I took my first live trades and I actually had some mistakes with OCO orders that cost me some money. I ended up losing $1,000 yesterday. It really should have been a green day. So that's a little bit frustrating. But the good news is that the trades were solid. I took good trades and I should have been green on the day, but because of some mistakes with OCO orders, they got executed when they shouldn't have. It really did cost me some money. So I had to get that sorted out. I think I figured out the problem, and today everything was flawless. Didn't have any issues with that, and finishing today up $1,000 between TradeStation and a small trade in Lightspeed. So basically flat after 2 days. I kind of expected there would be a little bit of an adjustment period, but so far the executions have been solid. So we'll talk about all of that in this video and just go over the trades that I took. So with that said, guys, let's go ahead and roll the intro and get started. All right, guys, so welcome back. First and foremost, I just want to go over my general layout that I have here. So you can see we're looking at my big 4K monitor. Some people did ask, this is a 42 or 43 inch LG 4K monitor. So obviously it has lots of screen real estate. I can fit all of my charts, all of my execution windows and charts for the market, and just everything that I really need on this one monitor. And then over here on this side monitor that I have set up vertically, I can't show you that. I don't have the screen recording set up to record that screen, but this is where I have my positions and my orders, and I have a little chart here on the bottom so I can see my executions and things like that as well. And I can monitor, what's going on with my positions and orders over there on the side. So like I said, yeah, I mean, right here in the middle, this is my primary charting window. This is where I can have, I have a tab open for just Amazon, and I can look at, different stocks that I might be looking for possible trade ideas on. We'll get into all that, but basically, this is really the heart of the operation here. Across the top, I have 4 execution windows and 4 charts for each of those. Right now it's set up with different strikes and options, instruments. You can see I have 2 strikes open for Amazon here. I have a strike open here for Apple and for Tesla. I've got a little watch list over here where I can just type in any strikes that I might be interested in trading on the day or the week. So I can very quickly kind of pull up, for example, I click on NVIDIA. I can see the NVIDIA 192.50 calls here. So I can very easily do that. And then over here on the left side, this is where I have my market charts for the Qs and the SPY. Of course, we can come in and dial it in on different time frames. You'll also notice across the bottom here, I have the tick for the New York Stock Exchange, and I have the advanced decline line for the S&P 500. So I can kind of get a glimpse of the some of the basic internals right here. And then down here on the bottom left corner, this is where I have my daily chart with my watch list. So I'm not sure if this setup will change a little bit. I'm just still kind of working out the kinks. I'm pretty happy with where it is now, so I can't imagine too many changes are going to be made. And like I said, what I love about it is that I have all my charts here in front of me and my execution windows, so I'm not having to look around across multiple monitors. This is such a big monitor, you already have to look around a lot anyways. In terms of, I guess, one kind of con that I would say with TradeStation compared to Lightspeed is that in order to have access to an option chain, you have to open a separate app. You like come up here and go to new application, and it's called Option Station Pro. It's like a separate program almost. It's like a separate application that you have to open, and that gives you access to your option chain and everything. Where with Lightspeed, it just has a very streamlined option chain, and I can double click on a strike in the option chain, and it will populate it into one of my level 2 windows. It's just not super easy to do that with TradeStation, and I hate that you have to have that separate application open just to get to the option chain. But it's not really that difficult to come into this watch list and type in, whatever you might be wanting to watch. For example, if I wanted to come in here and look at, since Tesla's been selling off, I have nothing but calls here. I could come in and type in the ticker symbol, which is TSLA, and then we do space. We do the year 21, the month 07, the day, which we're always trading weekly, so this week's expiration would be 23, and then we type in either a P for a put or a call C for calls. So we type in a P. And what is Tesla even trading at? It is trading at 648. So let's do the 650 put. So we just type in the strike price, right? 650 and hit enter. And you'll see right there, it has now been added to my watch list. I can see how much volume it's traded today. And I can just come in here and obviously click on anything from my watch list, and it populates it inside of this, this window here. The other thing is I hate that it shows my account number, so I had to kind of put little black boxes over that. So it's not super convenient for recording my screen, but I guess because you can trade, you know, options and stocks and futures, you have multiple accounts with TradeStation for, like, you have to have a separate account for futures than you do for stocks and options. So this way you would be able to change your account to whatever you want to trade in. But anyways, you know, pretty happy, like I said, with the layout. Let's dial it down to a smaller screen for you guys here. So I'm going to turn these off so you can see it's not super easy for me to do the recordings. But anyways, this is the main screen here, and this is, like I said, where I'm monitoring. I have a tab here just for Amazon. I have another tab here where it's linked to my watch list over here on the left side, so I can scan around and look for possible trade ideas with the tape and the matrix, the level 2. This alone is just amazing. This matrix is almost alone worth it just for TradeStation. It just makes it so much easier to see the market depth and everything. And then of course I have a tab here for the futures, so I can see the S&P and the NASDAQ futures, the SPX index itself. That's another cool thing about TradeStation compared to Lightspeed, is I can now actually trade options on SPX. With Lightspeed, I wasn't able to do that, so that's pretty cool. And then I have this internals page here, so we can monitor, you know, our breadth, our advanced decline line, the tick, all that good stuff. And then I have this page here that also is essentially the same thing that I have over here on my left monitor, but I put this here so I could share with you guys my positions and, you know, trades, and you can see my executions, which is really cool. So talking about yesterday, and then we'll jump into today. Yesterday I ended up losing $1,000, and I only traded on TradeStation platform. Now, in terms of the executions, everything was solid yesterday and today. Whenever I put an order out, or whenever I like hit the ask to buy immediately to get in the trade, I get filled as soon as I hit the button. So it's essentially the same as Lightspeed. Now, the question would be, what about in a fast moving market? Like if we're trading a breakout, for example, and we're just a little bit too late to hit the button and the market moves away from us very quickly, how hard will it be to get filled without having to mark it in? To be honest, even with Lightspeed, I've had issues with that. If I'm just a little bit too slow and the market moves away from me and it's a breakout trade, I might not get filled without having to really come up on the ask price. So we will see how that goes. But so far, every time I've hit the button, I get filled. So the execution quality has been spot on. Absolutely nothing to complain about there. However, I did have some issues with OCO orders yesterday. So just looking at the option chart without getting into Amazon's chart straight away here, this is some trades that I took yesterday right off of the open on Amazon. And you can see that I was trading the 3580 calls, and my first entry is right here, this blue arrow here. This is my first entry. Whoops. And you can see that my exit was down here. And this was not supposed to happen. Okay, so what ended up happening here is I got into the trade, and once I was in the trade, I started structuring an OCO order, which basically, if you're not familiar, an OCO order is a one cancels the other order. So once you're in a position, you can structure an OCO order. So basically, you're sending a stop market order at the same time you're also sending a take profit limit order, and whichever one gets hit first, the other one gets canceled. So if your stop gets hit, it closes out your position and cancels your take profit order, and vice versa. So I was in the position and I was structuring the OCO order, and then I hit the button to submit the OCO order, and it executed. It basically closed my trade straight away, and I was down on my position at the time, and that shouldn't have happened. I was putting in a stop loss with a $3 stop on the option premium. And the way the OCO order should work is once you submit the order, the stop loss and the take profit is going to be calculated off of the current market price. Okay, and so it should not have been executed because I sent the OCO order when the premium was here, and it shouldn't have stopped me out for another $3 lower. Okay, so I don't know 100% what happened, but I think what happened is because my level 2 had, and let me just open it up for you again here. Let me just do this so you guys can see this. All right, so up here on the level 2 window, you have this option where you can click this auto here, and it gives you some different options. By default, I think it's on this where you can manually input the limit price that you want to buy or sell at, right? But if you click this auto and you choose the hit take feature, make sure you guys, yeah, you can see that, and you choose this hit take feature right here. Basically what that is going to do is it's going to be like the hot buttons I have on Lightspeed. So if I'm buying to open a position and I click buy to open, it's going to buy however many contracts are in this little box here at that current ask price. So if I click it right now, it's going to execute an order for 5 contracts at $3.25. And if I'm in a position and I'm selling to close, it's going to sell at the bid price, right? So essentially it's getting in and getting out immediately without using a market order. So I had this on that hit take feature. I came in here and structured an OCO order, and I clicked the place OCO order, and for some reason it executed the trade right away, closing my position. So I think it has something to do with this being on hit take, basically taking precedence. I need to test it on like cheaper options like AMD or something, but I try to trade later in the day on Amazon after this happened to me 2 or 3 times. And then finally, once I took a moment to really try to sit down and figure out what's going on, I tried another trade on Amazon later, and I had it set to just the standard limit price feature here. When I hit the place OCO order, it worked just as it should have. So I think that's what the problem was, but again, I need to back test it a little bit further to be sure. Okay, so let's go back to our smaller screen for you guys. Okay, so getting back over here, this was the trade, right? Let's zoom in on this. So here was the trade. I got in, I was placing my OCO order, and it executed it down here, and immediately I get taken out of the trade for like a $360 something loss. Then Amazon comes back up and reclaims the level I was looking at, and so I get back into the trade here, and I'm like, okay, I just need to trade. Just forget the OCO orders. I just need to trade. So I get back in the trade. It starts to work, so I add into the trade, and then we start to lift up higher here, and I'm limiting for my first take profit order up here around 38, and it never gets there. It never fills me. We roll over, and then I have to stop out. So just from this first trade right here in the first, 15 minutes of the open, I'm already down pretty much $1,000. So that was kind of, oh man, that was definitely a tough one to swallow. And then the other heartbreaker, which really was the trade of the day, and what I was looking for the best absolute setup, would have gotten me back green on the day, and it, like I said, it should have been a really solid day. I bottom ticked the entry right here on the 3550 calls absolutely beautifully, and then once again I was like, okay, let's get the OCO order going here. I submitted the OCO order, and it closed the position right away for like a $70 loss. When you can see my entry here from 33 and change, these premiums went up to $50. That was frustrating, but I guess trial by fire, right? There's going to be, these things will happen when you have a big platform change. You're just kind of learning things. So that was frustrating, definitely. So I pretty much had to walk away there and just close it out red on the day. But I figured it out, like I said, and today everything worked flawlessly. You can see finishing up $810 here between a trade on Amazon. I can pull that up. You can see here, I missed the fill this morning. I couldn't get filled. I was limiting, and I never got filled. The price moved away so quickly. So I waited for the dip buy, and then I added in, and then I ended up having to sell time on the next 5-minute candle. So I just wasn't able to take as much size as I would have liked. I only took 2 contracts, and I really wanted to take more size, but that's okay. I mean, I got a good trade out of it, and it is what it is. So so I'm pretty happy with that. And then I just took a small little scalp trade on Tesla, really just a quick little counter trend bounce, and got almost nothing out of it. So that really almost wasn't worth it. So, and then just jumping over to our chart, taking a look at Amazon 5-minute chart, right? So this is the trade that I was really looking for this morning. We dipped right down into the pre-market low here. And this is, I was thinking that, we might come just a little bit lower. 35.72 was the absolute lowest I wanted to see it. So I had a limit order down pretty low because I thought we might get a quick wick down quite a bit further, but we didn't. We didn't come down far enough to fill my limit order, and we just ripped, right? So I wasn't able to get in, unfortunately, on this 5-minute candle, which is really a shame because those 3,600 calls, they went from an opening price of $17 to a high of that first 5-minute candle to $32. Incredible. So I ended up, here's the pullback, right? Here's the pullback into the VWAP, and this is when I'm getting into the trade. We get the nice move up here, and we get one continuation push up, and I wasn't able to get filled, so I had to get out by selling between the bid and the ask, and I got filled immediately. So to be able to get filled immediately between the bid and the ask as soon as I hit the button is definitely a testament to the executions. So the executions are solid, absolutely nothing to complain about there. And then here's the trade yesterday, just since we're here. You can see here's the 5-minute opening candle. We wicked down. I never got filled. We reclaimed the level. I got in the trade. We dropped back below the level, and I'm messing around with the OCO order. I get stopped out here. We reclaim the level. I get back in the trade. We don't get the follow through, and I get stopped out, right? And then here was the dip buy right here, right into 35.54. That's that prior all-time high that we broke out from on Amazon. Plus you have the 200 moving average sitting there. There was a lot of reasons to take the trade here. Bottom ticked it and got stopped out and missed this. So that was definitely frustrating. So like I said, at the end of the day, I'm very happy with the platform so far. It's performed flawlessly. I did have a couple of issues with the platform crashing to the desktop, but it was isolated to just my computer. I think it was related to a combination of my graphics card driver needed to be updated, and it was also related to the screen recording at the time on OBS. So I updated all of my software for OBS, my graphics driver, and so far that seems to have fixed the problem. So other than that, and no one else was complaining of the problem, so I knew it was isolated to my machine. I just had to figure out what was going on, and I realized I hadn't updated my graphics driver in ages. So it was time to do that, and so far it's worked flawlessly, and like I said, the quality of the executions is great. The question is going to be, how does it perform in a high volatility and a fast moving market environment? That's going to be the big question. I think even the best brokers can have hiccups and issues from time to time, but so far I'm just not seeing the execution problems that some other people have complained about online. Again, time will tell. I've only traded live on it for 2 days. I've been using the platform itself for over a week now, and it's been great. It's not laggy off the open. It performs as expected once I updated my graphics driver and all that. And so far the executions are on par with Lightspeed. So I'll keep you guys posted as I continue to use the platform, good or bad. And with that, I will wrap it up there. I hope you guys had a great day trading, and we have one more day left in the week. So let's get through the rest of the week, and we will see you guys this weekend for our weekend video. All right, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one.